morning. So I am here bright and early outside this Astana 1 station. So I am leaving Astana on the way to Almaty, but on the way through I'm going to stop at a city called Karaganda and stay there for a night. Really interesting city. It's most famous for having a brutal and horrible gulag. On top of that, it's a very kind of traditional Soviet city. It's one of the very few cities in Kazakhstan that still has a Lenin statue up. There's Soviet murals, Soviet mosaics, and a lot of kind of history there. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm staying in a really cool hotel there that was famous for hosting cosmonauts as well. And yeah, let's get stuck into the train station and get on with this journey. Look at this on the outside of the Astana station. Two nice Soviet mosaics. We have what looks like a worker sit with his family saying goodbye as I guess he goes off to work, and over here I believe that's an astronaut at the top. There are the train times. Absolutely no idea how to read that. So I think this is my train here. Look at this bad boy, proper old school. Yeah, this is class. So I've got this lovely 4-berth room all for myself. So we're going to have a little look around the train here. Nice views of the country out there. Staff room in there, toilet here. Leave it at that. Seems to be a little place you can get hot water. And that clip I just showed you was from the bathroom. Used on my phone, I didn't take the camera with me. Not the nicest bathroom I've ever been on transport. In fact, quite possibly one of the worst. But, you know, as long as you just need a wee, it's not the end of the world. And all in all, it cost £6 for this train journey, 4 hours 41 minutes. Compared with the UK, that's substantially cheaper, and it's not too bad, you know. It's definitely a unique experience, and I would definitely recommend. In terms of landmass, this is actually the 9th largest country in the entire world. 11 times bigger than the UK, which is gigantic. It's the same size as Argentina and Peru combined. It's larger than all of Western Europe combined. I've got my head down. We are on this lovely Soviet-style train, and I'm going to have some rest. See you in Karaganda. First impression of this city, Karaganda. This is incredibly Soviet. So just right in the centre of Karaganda, got a mall behind me. Just been to grab some food. I'm going to have an early night, but before I go back, kind of near this really cool memorial. And the reason why this memorial is so impressive is the statue itself. Nurkan Abdirov, a Kazakh guy from this very town who obviously was a fighter pilot in World War II. What makes him such a hero is that he was fighting some Germans. He got hit. He was in trouble. Him and his co-pilot, they were going down. So rather than try and get back to safety, or just crash somewhere, he went absolutely full harry-carry. Just saw a little column of tanks, took them out, and he ended up single-handedly destroying 6 German tanks. Posthumously got I think it's like Hero of the Soviet Union medal. But either way, just this memorial is so cool. But I look at the way it's him just on the plane, about to slam in some German tanks. Top stuff. The outside is maybe somewhat past its best, but you can see it used to be a really grand building. So, a little room tour. As soon as to the bathroom. This place is gargantuan. Do you know what? That's pretty good, you know. That's pretty good. Nice little seating area here. A lovely, very retro style sofa. A balcony that kind of takes us out the front of the building. Over here, nice fridge, TV, bed. Good morning from a not so sunny Karaganda. It's actually spitting down here. This behind me is the Lenin Theatre. And I think you know what this means. Somewhere behind here, there's apparently a statue of Lenin. So we're gonna go check that one out. There are very, very few of them in Kazakhstan, and indeed across the whole kind of cacophony of former Soviet countries. In a lot of them, they've removed all their statues of their Soviet leaders. Let's try and find him. Can't see him so far. Oh, hello. Oh, I think I can. I didn't expect it to be quite this big. So here he is, Vladimir Lenin. So this was once apparently outside the Eco Museum right in the centre of town, but rather than get rid of it, they thought we're going to move it here in the now named Lenin Park with the Lenin Cinema out the front. But either way, I think it's so good that they've kept this. They've kept part of their history. They can look back on it. They can learn. But I mean, it's a genuinely really impressive statue, this monument. It is gigantic. I am hugely excited to have seen that this morning. A rare Lenin statue in the wild. Now there's so many other things to see in this city nearby that have a kind of real throwback to the Soviet era. So instead of talking about them, shall we go and find them? I think so. And I'm tempted to try and see if I can get one of these little scooters to whiz about. Cutting around some country on a scooter, Lenin statues. I'm in my element here. Karaganda. I love this place. Okay, let's find some more Soviet heroes. Another little monument found here as we're whipping about on the scooter. What a cool little town this is. Another statue here. Not the foggiest who this is. A bust of somebody down here. This whole area at one point, I think, when it was new, would have looked so nice. Slightly run down a bit now, and there are a lot of potholes, I'll be honest with you. But look, we move from the statue behind me all the way along this boulevard. This would have looked absolutely beautiful a little while ago. It's a dark day, which I don't think is helping it. Overcast. But we're going to go down this little boulevard, because right down the end, not quite on the boulevard, I do have to go off it slightly, there is a monument to a true Soviet hero, and it's actually one of the few Soviet heroes that I think even today you can look back on and I think everybody would say absolute legend. Have a little guess who it is, and we will see him in a little bit. Just came past here on the scooter and had to stop. This is the Stanislavski Theatre. It's a shame that the front of it's under development there. I'd love to get a bit closer, but see a nice statue over there, but look at that Soviet mural up there. How cool is that? This city is such a throwback. It's amazing to look around. seems to be somebody cutting around a massive Soviet flag. And there he is, Yuri Gagarin, a true hero of the Soviet world, somebody who became a celebrity across the whole world over, the first man into space, a real pioneer. This is one of the things I really like, this touch here. So you've got this planet, you can see him in the background, reflecting back. Another planet in the solar system here. You can see a little reflection of me. Yuri, the star. Okay, we've boxed off our man Gagarin, we've boxed off Lenin. I think it's time for some more Soviet intrigue, maybe some more Soviet mosaics. As I stand here in front of one statue and in front of just an incredibly Soviet looking building, I want to make one plea to the people of Karaganda. If anybody from Karaganda is watching this, firstly, very cool city, very interesting. Secondly, you have so many statues, so many monuments. Why is there no monument to one of your own people, someone from this city, Gennady Golovkin, one of the best boxers to ever live? I would love to see something, a tribute to him in the city as well, which would be fantastic. That's my plea for you, people of Karaganda. Another statue. These are incredible wide open roads, but what's really interested me is over there. I think you can see it. Floodlights. This city has a football team called Shakhtar Karaganda. Annoyingly, they're actually playing today, but they're playing away from home. They're in the Kazakh Premier League, won the title 3 times since it was inception, in 1992. Here we are, the home of Shakhtar Karaganda. Interesting feature, the floodlights both here and here are on the other side of the road. The old team buses and a brand new one. Wow, fairly new one. It's really, really cool. Doesn't seem to be a way onto the field or in the stadium, unfortunately. Would have been lovely to see that. Also, no shop. Damn shame. Would have loved to be cutting around in a Shakhtar Karaganda scarf next time I go to an Argyle game. So this here is the Miners' Palace of Culture, and that is not a Prince Andrew joke. So these figures here, these are the real stars of the show on top of this building. The first one is looks like a miner. The second one is somebody holding a lamb, a soldier, a woman holding what looks like some wheat, some crops. That fifth one, somebody's holding some papers in a book, so I'm going to guess a student potentially, and this guy's got a little guitar sort of scenario. So my hunt for the cosmonaut mosaic has taken me slightly to one end of the centre, and then this it's just so Soviet. Like, I absolutely love this place. So interesting. Like, everywhere you look, there's just more history to take in. As we go down this boulevard to find the mosaic, at the end, hopefully. This is the 4th biggest city in Kazakhstan. I think I called it a town earlier. It's the 4th biggest city in Kazakhstan. Used to be the 2nd. I think the main industry here, they call it a working city. It's a place you don't really get tourists in the same way, and it's for lots of mining work here, lots of mineral wealth. But I think I'm in ahhing about coming here, and I'm so pleased that I did, because this is just so different to what I expected, and so different to Astana or Almaty. This old Soviet tower block was holding a little secret, this incredible cosmonaut mosaic on one end. We've now seen the monument for Yuri, we've seen the Soviet cosmonaut mosaic. I think we're spaced out, but there's still plenty to see in Karaganda. So it's May 9th here, which in Kazakhstan is Victory Day, celebrating the end of the Second World War. And I'm in Victory Park, which has like an eternal flame. And yeah, let's take a look around. A gentleman in front of a Soviet flag. Lots of singing. Home guns. So this is the eternal flame. So you can see a lot of people carrying pictures of, I guess, relatives that must have died in the war. It's very different to how these kind of celebrations are in the UK. Some old bangers that serve some sort of purpose, but I don't really know. So on the side of this one, we've got 3 astronauts. 2 obviously with their heads, with the CCCP on the helmets. You've got the one kind of flying through, the stars all around. I love that this stuff's just, you know, tucked away anywhere. DJ Khaled voice, another one. 2 soldiers, a woman, hammer and sickle. So here it is, the Steel of Independence, and in the distance on the Eco Museum, 2 of the famous Soviet murals of the city. We're by the Eco Museum here, and this is one of 2 murals in the area, and this one is absolutely beautiful. Really showcasing what the Soviets wanted to showcase here, their strength. Look how strong these fellas look. If you're wondering what this big lump of rock is, this is copper ore. Just in front of this incredible mural. And here we have the second mural. Maybe even better than the first. Some workers holding a massive lump of iron ore. And like I said, there's huge mineral wealth around here. The football team, their nickname, Shakhtar Karaganda, is the miners, and is a big part of the history, the heritage, and the current situation economically in this area. So I forgot to record an outro. So I'm here back in Blighty, and I just want to say a couple of things. Firstly, Karaganda is an amazing city, hugely interesting, very different to Almaty, very different to Astana. And if you're going to Kazakhstan, I would actually really recommend going, especially if you're into your Soviet history. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, please leave a comment, please share it, all that stuff. I'm a very small creator, so every little helps. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.